Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how you can earn over 800% APR on based and TOOM LPs on based finance. And if you want to get even more DGEM, you can earn above 1000% APR. But if you compound your rewards, you compound your base TOOM LPs, you can get over 150,000% APY. Insane. So today we're going to go through base finance, reasons why you should invest in it. Not financial advice, by the way, just looking for some DGEM plays and yield farming strategies. This is good for you. And if you would like to support the project, then you can help invest and keep the peg as well. And then we're going to talk about the team and the community, how I personally find a community, and I'm going to show you step by step how you can participate in this protocol. So using Spooky Swap, and I'm using Defi Finance as well. That's my option. You can just use the Base Finance website directly. Okay, so what is Base Finance? Base Finance is a TOOM fork, but the token base is pegged to the price of TOOM. So with the TOOM, it's pegged to the price of 1 FTM. So 1 FTM, it should be 1 TOOM. Base Finance is pegging based to TOOM. So it's a based TOOM Phantom. So quite cool, quite interesting the way they do it. Right now it's printing, right? So you have 3 different tokens which we will go through, but now it's printing because it's above the peg. So if it's above the price of TOOM, then the Acropolis, where if you stake B shares, it will print more base tokens. Okay, so this is a really cool project that I want to share with you. All right, so Base Finance, what is it? Well, their team is KYC, so let's get the security out of the way. The team is KYC, but I'm sure they have their KYC NFT, and they have a pretty cool team, which I will talk about very soon. Okay, so Base Finance. What's cool about this project is that they're going to have future utility for Base. So the one thing that lots of TOOM forks suffer from is that they don't have much use cases for their token. So that's why the peg kind of falls apart. Whereas this team is focused, right? They're focused on making sure there are use cases, right? So maintain focus on innovation around the enhanced functionality of based use cases, support multi-dApp ecosystem. Really, really cool. And what really got me into Base Finance is that it's backed by Harry A. So let's go to Discord very, very quickly to show you that it's supported by the man himself, right? So Base Finance over here, we have competitions here, we have our prayers here. I think the community is quite fun. The community is quite cool. So they have announcements, and then what we're gonna see is that, look at here, Base Finance, TOOM Finance partnership. So Harry A himself, the TOOM chat here, is partnering up with these guys. So Harry A has partnered with many TOOM forks before. Many are, well, I mean, only 2 ohm, 3 ohm, and Base Finance so far. But Base Finance seems the most successful for now, especially in this bear market. So it's quite an interesting protocol. Okay, so I think I found the community quite fun. I was going to ask some questions, and they're very active. Okay, so let's look at the tokens, the base token, the B share token, and the B bonds, right? So the base token is the token that is pegged algorithmically to the price of 1 TOOM, right? And B shares is similar to T shares, where you can stake B shares to print based when the TWAP and the price is above peg, right? And then B bonds is when they are released when the peg is below 1, so that you can buy B bonds which burn base. So you use base to buy B bonds and then hopefully sell B bonds at a higher price when base is above 1.1 or 1.1 and above, so you can get an extra bonus. Okay, we'll go through those details a little bit later. Okay, so the base B share B bonds, the Agora is kind of like the farming place, and what's cool is that they have 5 different pools, right? They have the base TOOM LP, B share Phantom LP, B share Phantom, and then you have B share base B share. Okay, and then you have curve guys. It's quite interesting. So let's say you don't want to be exposed to the price of Phantom or the B share. You can come in here and stake your curve guys tokens and earn B shares at very modest amount of 28% APR, which is modest or not modest, depending on how you look at it. I think it's pretty good. So, and you can also use your curve track crypto. So you can use a different basket of assets to kind of participate in this protocol. You don't necessarily have to use phantom price action, right? You can be exposing yourself just to Bitcoin, Tether, Ethereum in a 33% kind of weighting in the curve track crypto pool, and you can earn a very, very good 50% APR, which compounded be quite nice. So this is generally the idea, but be careful, the curve pools have this 0.2 deposit tax. So there's kind of a little small feature that you need to pay attention. Okay, so let's look deeper into the tokens. Okay, base token is the token pegged to TOOM B share. Okay, so what you can do is that when you buy B shares, you can stake them in the Acropolis, right? If you stake them in here, you can earn 1,300% APR. So how does this happen? So at every epoch, which is about 6 hours, the B share prints based. So when it prints based, you can earn based over here. Now, if you claim your rewards, then basically the protocol kind of locks up, right? The smart contract doesn't allow you to claim any rewards or take out any more B shares for about 4 epochs. Okay, so about 24 hours. So let's say if you interact with any deposits or withdrawals, right, you will be locked. So you won't be able to withdraw within about 24 hours. But we definitely still can put more B share in. So you still can buy more B share and put it in. All right. So that's kind of like the small thing that you need to have into consideration. Okay. So they also are quite transparent with the team allocation here, which is I personally appreciate. Not many TOOM folks do that. And then they'll give some details about the remaining allocation. And then look at B bonds. All right, so let's look at the platform. So this is the boardroom like we explained earlier, where you can stake B share and you can earn based for staking your B share when it's above peg. And then you have your contraction periods, you have your depth phases, and then you have your expansionary phases as well. So that's what we mean by when it's above peg, it's expansionary. When it's below peg, it's more contraction and depth phases. Okay, so you also have the Parthenon, which is the place where you can buy B bonds. All right, so let's look further into the B bond mechanism. Okay, so what are B bonds? B bonds are tokens utilized to help stabilize the base price, to push it back to 1 from if it's below 1. Okay, so when can you buy B bonds? Now, you can't really buy B bonds all the time from base finance. You need to be there when the base finances TWAP, which is time weighted average price, is below 1. And that's when B bonds are released, and you can buy B bonds at the Parthenon. So you can come over here, purchase B bonds using based. You need to use based. Okay, so because what this does is that in the purchase of B bonds, based is burnt, right? Or based is locked away, and you have B bonds in return. So that kind of reduces the supply of base, therefore increasing the price, right? That's the kind of the idea of it. Okay, so if you want to have more deeper explanation about how TOOM forks work, you can check out my previous video. Okay, so you can buy B bonds if any are available at the Parthenon. Okay, there's a limit amount, 3% of base current circulating supply of available B bonds per epoch, while on contraction periods. Okay, so why should you buy B bonds? Why couldn't you just buy base token when it's below peg and then wait till it goes above peg? So here is the incentives. All right, so B bonds don't have an expiration date, which is a interesting, unique point for this protocol. Okay, and it helps maintain the peg. But the incentive is, for example, if you buy B bonds using based, there are 2 ways you can get your based back, right? So you can sell your based when based is above TOOM, between 1 and 1.1, with no redemption bonus. But if you hold on to a TWAP of 1.1 or above, you get a bonus redemption. Let's look at an example, okay? So they give you an example here. Let's say you buy based at 0.1 and you buy B bonds. So let's say B bond price is at 0.8, so you burn some base, lock away some base, you get some B bonds in return. And when base comes back up to peg at 1.15, you can redeem one B bond to get 1.105 base. So that's cool. So if you buy base at 0.8, hold it to 1.15, you're getting extra in base tokens. So the B bond price will be above the base price when base is above 2, if that makes sense. So just to recap, you buy below peg and you sell above peg, you get a reward, an extra bonus for the redemption. All right, so this kind of like incentivizes people to buy B bonds and hold them. Okay, so when can I swap B bond for a bonus? B bond TWAP, which is time weighted average price, is based on the base price TWAP from previous epoch as it ends. So this means that base TWAP is in real time B bond. So in other words, if you can redeem B bond for a bonus when the previous epoch is above 1.1. Okay, let's look at how the DAO fund is being used. All right, so this is another feature that comes with most Toon forks, but these guys state it very clearly here. Okay, so when base T was below 1, buybacks will be initiated by the DAO. So similar to Toon Finance, that once the peg is below 1, they help buy B bonds so that the price goes back up to about the same as Toon, or back to 1. Okay, the DAO will hold a range of assets as well. So what they mentioned with the curve tokens is pretty interesting too. So they're not just using Phantom or Toon base, they are actually holding a basket of assets that are a bit more have a bit more variety, maybe in different stabilities and different volatilities, to be able to make sure that they're effectively buying back base with B bonds. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's what I like about base finance, just different from other Toon forks. Okay, so this is their security measures that you can have a look. This is all the contracts and wallets which you can go and track yourself. This is the team. So the team has been KYC by Assured DeFi, like we've seen before. And this team, reading over here, like these guys seem very experienced with crypto. They've been here for a while, especially the lead advisor has been around since 2017. They have a project manager and dedicated tokenomics wizard, which is very, very important because game theory is very, very prevalent in crypto. And then you have a nice team that's all been KYC, and it seems that these guys are really actively interacting with the community as well. So let's say we go back to the Discord page. They really were answering all our questions, and we were helping each other quite well. They have a very active community as well, and they have the degen talks and memes and stuff like that. So I personally feel like this is a pretty cool community. But of course, with every project comes with its own risks, so you need to do your own research. And if you have the risk appetite, yeah, go for it. Alright, so let's look at the team allocations. I like this because not many Toon forks kind of like come out with this. They show the emissions, how they split it between the devs, the B share allocations. They show everything in team wallets. They even have helpful guides on how you can get started over here. So I really like how they approach this. They're quite transparent compared to others, and they have certain unique features, especially with the curve pools, which give a new fresh take on the Toon fork. So yeah, this is a really interesting project. I'm keeping a very close eye, and I'm going to show you now how you can invest in this. And this is one way that I will be doing this. You can do it different ways. So I'm going to be showing you a way that I'm going to use Spooky Swap, and then I'm going to use Beefy Finance to auto compound, or you can just buy the LP and stake them over here in the Agora to earn B share, and then you can stake B share to earn more base and compound those rewards for insane APRs. But yeah, I'm going to show you my method of how I'm going to partake in this, and here we go. you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment down below. I'm always gonna be answering every single question. Don't forget, we're all gonna make it together. Subscribe.